Hello my friends, back with another video today, and it is going to be episode number 2 in the Dream Lens series. Today I have the Helios 42. Okay, it's an 85mm 1.5 aperture. F1.5 is what it opens up to, and it is a pretty beautiful lens. Okay, this is one of so basically I wanted to explain to you guys, obviously I've done extensive videos on my gear setup, stuff I use for weddings, 35-85 combo, the 24 and the 50, in my case the 58. But those two combos are basically what we use, me and my wife. We're either I'm on the 35 and the 85 or she's on the 24 and the 50, or vice versa. But I think it's important for everybody as wedding photographers is once you get comfortable with those focal lengths or whatever combo that you're going to use for primes, to throw in like a kind of extra, lens that you use sparingly that can kind of help you with some creative portraits sometimes. I don't think that you should be spending gear on like a bunch of different lenses that are like super expensive, but there's a lot of lenses out there, like old school ones that you can use and you can find that give like a different feel, and they can create really cool different types of portraits. So what I did was I was looking for an 85 to use sparingly just for portraits, and I wanted something that was manual focus. There's a bunch of different options out there. You can go on, you can look, guys, if you research projector lenses, there's really cool old style film projector lenses that can give you unbelievable like different types of compression, different types of bokeh, like the lights flare out to the sides and there's swirls in the background. There's a lot of different types of projector lenses that you can use that aren't that expensive, and you can just get Nikon or Canon mounts or whatever, Sony mounts, and use them. A lot of times they don't focus to infinity if you get the right type of mounts or do some modifications, but there's some out there that do. And these are great. I mean, you cannot use them all the time. You definitely do not want to be, overusing them, but they're great to kind of just throw in for a portrait every once in a while when you have a really cool background, and it just adds something different. So I was looking for an 85 that I was going to use for this purpose, and I bought two. I did a video where I told you guys about this before. I bought the Zeiss Milvis 85 1.4, and I bought this Helios 40-2. And a lot of people forget about this Helios. It's an 85. There's a Helios 44-2, which is a 50mm. And the thing that's special about these lenses is they give kind of like a swirl background bokeh effect. But you also have to know how to use the lens. It doesn't automatically just swirl everything out. I've said this before in a lot of my videos, guys. Like, a lot of lenses, they have a lot of character to them, and you have to learn how to use them. You don't just slap them on your camera and then get the best out of them. You have to really know where the sweet spots are and how to work it on your camera. So it takes some time. But what ended up happening is I got those two lenses, the Zeiss and then this Helios, and I was going to use them at a wedding and then just kind of see which ones I liked or which one I liked and then return the other one. And I ended up returning the Zeiss. Now, obviously a huge price disparity or difference here. There's the Zeiss cost me $1,400, and this Helios cost me, I think I paid like $380 off eBay, and it was brand new. It focuses to infinity and has a Nikon mount. So the reasons why. So the Milvis went back, and people might say, what the hell are you doing? Why would you do that? But the thing is about the Zeiss, it's superior optics. It's a beautiful lens. It really is. But the focus throw on it is so big. I mean, to get from closest focus to infinity was literally a 360-degree turn. And when you're on a wedding or when you're on a family shoot, that type of focus throw is just, it gets in the way. It's so long to turn that lens, and also too, it's not smooth. Like with the 70-200 FL that I have, that thing I could just turn. I can zoom in and out or turn the focus wheel. I mean, it's autofocus obviously, but I could do it with one finger. It's so smooth and so easy. This thing was, I almost had to like crank it to like turn, and it was just not fun to use. That's one of the benefits of having a really good lens, is they're actually a joy to use. And so I did some portraits with the Zeiss, and I just did not like it. I just, right from the beginning, as soon as I put it on the camera, I didn't like it. And I felt like it's more of a very hardcore video lens, like for filming films. You know what I mean? Like that whole Milvis line, absolutely beautiful, superior construction. The optics are flawless. I mean, it's a beautiful looking lens. But just for people like me, I mean, you know, if you're in the wedding industry or you're shooting people, you need to be nimble and moving. The shot has to, you really should be able to get the shot as quick as possible, because these people, again, they're not professional models. They're not used to being in front of the camera. You don't want to be screwing around. So I got this. I got the Helios, and I kept it. And I've done some portraits with it. I've taken it to an engagement shoot and a wedding so far, and where I've used it, and I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's definitely not something that you're going to want to use all the time. It's kind of like a spice or an accent or something like that to throw in every once in a while. But I think these type of lenses are good to have in your bag, to kind of have, you know, as something extra, an extra ingredient when you're doing portraits. This is, for me, this would never come out any other time other than couples portraits. And the thing about it is this is especially good for single bride portraits when you just get her in her dress, because I mean, anywhere other than dead center is really not sharp. I mean, getting it's a manual focus lens. The focus peaking with the Nikon Z6 is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, this thing paired with it is really, really good. So I have terrible eyesight, so I need the focus peaking, and I shoot in all black and white. I had the focus peaking in red, so the black and white with the red, I can see exactly where it's in focus. But if you place people's faces or anything that you want in focus anywhere other than right in the center, it's not. It's way too soft, way too soft. So these are good for single portraits, or maybe two people with their heads closest together, put it in the middle, and then you can kind of crop to get rid of the head space if that's what you want to do. But it's a cool lens, and it has a really cool effect. It does have a swirly type of background or foreground, just basically the swirl that you can get. Now, I haven't totally figured it out and nailed where the swirl is perfect, but so far I'm going to put a couple, you know, you probably see right here. I'll put in a portrait that we did, couples portrait, and you could see that there is some swirling effect, but it's not perfect yet. The background looks really cool though, but it has like a dreamlike, you know, it's a dreamlike quality to it. And I think that it's important that, you know, if you're looking to spice things up or do something creative, these things can really, really kind of charge the creativity and get the ideas flowing in a different way. Obviously, this comes secondary, guys. I'm talking to the intermediate to experts, the people a little bit further along who have already mastered their 2' setup at a wedding. They're very good with them. They know those lenses. They're 35 and 85 or the 24 and 50 in and out. After you've got those two lenses, then you can start adding in extra stuff, you know, as just different ingredients. But it's a great lens, you know, paired with a mirrorless camera. The focus peaking is absolutely unbelievable on it, and I think it's pretty good. The Milvis, I wasn't too impressed with it in a useful standpoint, in a workflow standpoint. The images were beautiful, but to me that focus throw just put me off. It was literally a 360-degree turn that wasn't an easy turn. I mean, you know, if I'm gonna have a throw like that, I want to be able to basically spin it and do it fast. Like, okay, you know, rock back and forth, get it in focus, go to the middle, boom, I'm there. It wasn't like that. It took a long time to get things in focus, and just wasn't, the workflow wasn't even easy. And I'm like, you know, fuck this. I don't have time for it. I'd just rather pull up the 70-200, you know, extend to 200, get back, compress the background, focus. It's on every single time. You know, so that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. Are you using the Helios? Have you guys used this 44 or this 42? I think it's really beautiful, especially paired with a Nikon Z body. It's really nice. That's one of the benefits of having the mirrorless, is the focus peaking, guys. It's absolutely great. So for a wedding and family photographer, using an extra dream lens, I would not get the Zeiss Milvis. In my opinion, it's just too slow. It doesn't really provide any extra benefit for $1,400 when there's other things like this way cheaper. This is, like I said, like $280, something like that, and you just get it off eBay. And the only downside is it comes from like Russia, so I had to wait. I think it was like 2 weeks, but whatever. Let me know if you guys are using it. Till next time, guys.